The definition of a pretty boy is a man who is good looking but in a boyish or feminine way, or who is overly concerned with his appearance. No matter what I tell you guys, no matter what I show you guys, the male gaze is still so powerful in this online internet sphere to where you guys think every single woman wants this hyper masculine, bearded, just 300 pounds guy, and this simply is not true, man. I think the best example of this, if you really want to know, look at all these Looksmaxxing influencers. I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but go to their comment section on any social media. It is full of men. But then look at the things that I post on my Instagram account, for example. Go through the comments section. It looks a little bit different, man. Whenever you are getting pure hate from men, but then women are simping for you, that is the definition of the female gaze. And that is also more of the pretty boy archetype. And I believe that it mogs the masculine archetype pretty heavily. So what I'm going to do today is actually go into depth why it mogs. Without further ado, let's get it. Women love duality. There's actually this idea that most women kind of swing both ways. Like, they are attracted to women. They find these features very attractive. If you actually read The Art of Seduction, there's going to be one archetype that actually mirrors their beauty back to them, because there's this theory that most people are narcissists, so they like seeing something very beautiful in that mirror. And whenever you are two polarizing opposites, it's actually not as attractive to most women. This is why having strong facial features like a jawline, positive forward growth, high cheekbones, which are masculine features, this is going to be the masculinity that they're attracted to. But whenever you've got the clean shave, the hair is soft and fluffy, you've got long luscious eyelashes, eyebrows, you overall just look pretty, look handsome, you look attractive, then they're going to be much more drawn to you than if you were just complete polar opposite, full beard, full buzz cut, no eyelashes, no eyebrows, because they're not actually attracted to opposites. They're attracted to what reminds them of themselves, man. And all you have to do is look at mainstream society. Look at literally just about every single piece of fantasy. All of these sexy vampires, all of these sexy werewolves, all of these anime characters. What do these characters actually look like? Well, 90% of the time, they look like pretty boys, man. They're lean, they have strong defined jawlines, cheekbones. They look like just about any top Hollywood celebrity you can think of, man. They look amazing, but they don't look like the hyper masculine guy that you probably have pictured in your head. Women are actually attracted to masculinity. And in my personal opinion, I think that masculinity is actually being confident enough in your masculinity to express yourself. So you can express yourself through different hairstyles, through different clothing choices, whatever it is. I don't think masculinity is actually following these rigid rules of what most people think masculinity is. That's why sometimes guys with these huge beards, the lifted trucks, bear mode physique, this kind of almost looks like they're trying to compensate. They're trying to look much more masculine than they might actually be. And like I've always said, women, they're a lot smarter than you guys think they are. Like, they can pick up on these things pretty easily. They can pick up whenever a guy's trying to compensate for anything. And it's not just me saying this, man. Evolution actually supports this as well. There's tons of scientific studies that shows that women are attracted to men with a healthy balance, a healthy harmony of masculine and feminine features. You need both to optimize your overall aesthetic. Now, I'm not telling you to look like a full-blown twink, not lift any weights. That's what you guys seem to always think whenever I say the term pretty boy. What I'm telling you is to look your absolute best, and don't be afraid to have more feminine, pretty traits. There's literally nothing wrong with it. But no matter what, if you do not have enough testosterone throughout puberty, your face is not going to develop. I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. So much scientific studies are showing the links to not having enough testosterone and the face not developing. You don't have enough forward growth, jawline, none of this stuff, man. Bone mass, everything. So you need the best testosterone booster on the entire market. Aries Rage, man. I've been taking this every single day. It is the best testosterone booster on the market. We've got Tanga Ali, Maca, Oyster Extract, Zinc. Everything's scientifically proven to boost testosterone by over 50%. It is crazy. So you got to get that, and then you got to pick up Titan Grow 2.0, the best supplement on the entire market to optimize your overall health, because 92% of you guys are deficient in basic vitamins, minerals. This gives you everything you need because it's got 500 to 1000% of all your daily required nutrients to optimize your overall health. Because once you are deficient, your IGF-1 human growth hormone shuts down, your growth plates are going to close, you can't grow as tall as you're supposed to, your face is going to develop, everything. You got to do all of that, man. Don't forget to join my school, Kalos VIP. This is the best school of Looksmaxxing with over 10 hours of Looksmaxxing content, high growth, everything, teaching you how to become your best self. We do group VIP calls. It is the best school of self-improvement. We got the Archetype Masterclass coming soon. Right now it's only $12. Link in the description to join, down from the $55 it was previously. A lot of these hyper masculine men, they also do one thing I'm really not a fan of when it comes to how they smell. So they want to smell as masculine and dark as possible, super woodsy, leathery scents. Think of like the Tom Ford leather scents. In my opinion, I'm not a fan of those whatsoever, and a lot of girls really are not a fan of that as well. Like I said, it's almost just too masculine. That's why wearing something more unisex like Dior Ombre Nuit, this is going to smell much better to the majority of women. It's more sweet. It's unisex leaning. It could be on a man or a woman. Pretty boys, typically, they're going to be wearing more sweeter fragrances like this that are much more attractive. You guys have seen my interviews. A lot of women, they're afraid of the masculine men and the PSL gods who look way too chiseled, because a lot of it really does come down to safety. I mean, look from the female perspective. You go out on a date, you're in society, you actually want to be with a man who, number one, looks protective. This is why they are attracted to taller men on average. Men who have broad shoulders, things like this, that evolutionarily speaking, they are going to be better at protecting. But then when it comes to the face, they don't want someone's face who looks like a psychopath. Like someone who looks like the date is not going to end very well. That's why, once again, the pretty boy reminds them of themselves. It makes them feel more comfortable. It's more enticing. Think of all of the vampires you've seen and everything, man. They're pretty boys. They're very alluring and mysterious. That's what draws them in. But whenever they're too masculine, too rugged, it is very scary. Not just in the sense of intimidation, like, oh, that guy's so intimidating, anything can happen. Like, no, like this woman's safety is actually in danger. And if we're being honest, look at society now, man. Gen Z, specifically the younger generation, so this will be the future older generation, they prefer the more androgynous look. That's why you look at these K-pop stars, Timothy Chalamet, people like this who have a much more feminine pretty boy appearance than people in the past that are taking over the world by storm. And I think it comes down to a couple things. I think a big portion of this is because most women are on birth control. Like, they've done studies, women on birth control are more attracted to feminine men. Women who are not on birth control are not. And you guys say this as an argument a lot of the times, but the truth is the majority of the female population is on birth control. Even if they're not sleeping around, they do it for their hormones most of the time. They'll start from a very early age just to stabilize their hormones. It's kind of the truth of the world. This is something most people are on. So if it would benefit you to have more feminine appearance, take advantage of it. Most pretty boys, they're not going to try to pull off this alpha masculinity act, which a lot of times is an act. It's you're trying to almost compensate, try to make yourself appear like something that you may or may not be. Meanwhile, more of the pretty boy might just be more chill, more laid back. There's really nothing to prove. There's no weird energy going on. A lot of hypermasculine men do not age quite the same as pretty boys as well. There's this misinformation that people are spreading saying that pretty boys age poorly. They'll use Leonardo DiCaprio as an example when this simply is not the truth, man. Typically, someone who is younger, they have a more pretty appearance. They will put more effort into their appearance and look even better than, let's say, the hypermasculine guy who thinks it's sus to put on skincare, things like this. He wants to weigh 300 pounds and not really put as much effort. And by the way, guys, in that last interview, whenever I showed the masculine guy, that was still kind of female gaze pretty boy. That was not hardcore masculine, hyper-masculine guy that a lot of you guys think of, kind of like what I'm talking about now. At the end of the day, man, I want you to just really do whatever you resonate with the most. Like, if you want to be more masculine, this is what you feel your best, you should go for it. But the truth is, it's not going to be nearly as attractive to the mass majority of women. If you want to optimize your overall looks to like 80-90% of the female population, you should definitely go with more of the pretty boy aesthetic. Even if you are older, 30s, 40s, you can still look more clean shaven, look your absolute best. You can get a girlfriend who's a couple years younger than you, man, who will still be attracted to you. Like, it's not specifically only the younger woman, but that's it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I love you guys with all my heart. Peace.